Welcome back to Griffin, Indiana for episode 13 with me, MrSealyp. As you can see, we are into December 2. I had to wait for my permit. My permit hadn't come. I couldn't start logging until my permit had arrived, but it has now. I've taken the liberty of. I'm not going to go. I was going to go chainsaw. I might do for some bits. I'm not too sure, but I thought, you know what? I did that in Western Wales. I'm going to use this. This is the Pond's 3-point wood harvester. That just cost me 3,570 to lease, but I'm hoping if I do my login and cover the costs of that, it will be worth its weight in gold. However, I have a small problem. My Massey Ferguson tractor is only 170 horsepower. This says it requires 190. Now, sometimes you can get away with it, but it might be that as soon as I try and turn it on, it says I don't have enough horsepower. We'll see. If I haven't, then I've wasted 3,570. Hooray! I've also leased this log fork, brush fork. This is part of the Liebherr, I want to say 602 pack. We can check it. Let's go to, no, not there, wheel loaders. Which one did I go for? Yeah, 622, not 602. The 622 pack. That was only 300 and something to lease, which is brilliant, and it has straps. Why have I gone for that rather than one of the other ones? Well, I've got these as well from the case 821. That one's got a strap as well, which is a bigger log fork, but it's got one central strap. I'd rather have two. It's just a personal preference. But my login permit is here. It should come up on the screen, hopefully. US Forest Service, Indiana State, Hoosier National. So I said that before, Hoosier, and I got clobbered. Apparently that's not how it's said, but no, that's how it's written. So 248 15th Street, Tell City, Indiana, and then some numbers. I've got a contact detail for immediate use. Griffin Forestry Commercial Logging Permit, Poseyville, Indiana. The US Forest Service is committed to providing services on public and government lands. The Griffin Forestry will continue to provide free personal use firewood permits for those in need and commercial logging permits at a small fee. Woodcutters will be required to hold these permits and follow the associated regulations within that permit, along with the Griffin Forestry motor vehicle use map. That's showing where you can drive and that kind of thing. A total of up to 12 cords of firewood for personal use permitted per calendar year. We knew that. Commercial logging permit holders must contact the Tell City Rangers District before logging commences. I have phoned this morning. In addition, incidental amounts of other forest products may be collected as outlined in the following brochure. There's a website. For information on other permits, contact the listed Ranger District below, or information on forest product permits can be found at. That's things like mushrooms, berries, there's a whole load of stuff that you can, incidentals apparently, you can collect too. Because of potential wildfires, now this may be left over from the summer, but it could still be relevant. It may be necessary for public as well as firefighter safety to close the area directly affected by fires as well as the adjacent area. Please check the Hoosier National Park website, Facebook or Twitter for current closure order information. Also check for current information on fire restrictions. There might be certain things you can't do. Please contact your local ranger station to request a hard copy by mail. We've got that coming. As a reminder, it is the responsibility of the permit holder to check and be aware of any and all logging firewood restrictions in effect. Firewood cutting restriction information can be obtained by phoning, and there's a number at any time, night or day. And then at the bottom there, we've got the Tell City Ranger District information. Should we need to contact them, our contact is Diane Lyons. All good to go. So let's get this up here. Top right, we've got snow coming. Guess what time? 9 AM. Whether it's going to settle, I don't know. It looks like it's setting for quite a while. To say, am I racing the clock? Not really. I don't know, maybe. So we'll get this up there. I'll come back, grab the Massey, and we'll take that up. I'll start logging with that. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we're going to be doing this by hand. But I've got this to load into the trailer, which makes life a little bit easier off the start. We'll load up a full trailer load, bring it down to the sawmill and sell it, and see what we make. Yeah, I did a test bale off camera, silage bale, selling it at the animal dealer. You can do animal dealer, biogas plants, a few different places. Now bearing in mind, I was doing a 3,500 litre one, not one of the, I've got 6s, haven't I? 6,000 litre ones. You remember the days? You remember back in the day when silage was worth its weight in gold, when you could do a massive silage harvest, ferment it, sell it at the biogas plant, and make a load of money, you know. Or you could sell silage bales once fermented, or if they were fermented immediately. A 4,000 litre bale would make you maybe a couple of grand, or you know, maybe a little bit less. Whatever. Well, I sold 3,500 litre bale, $648. Which I guess, I mean, I suppose it's more realistic, I suppose. So look at the weeds, man. I'm hoping in spring we get some herbicide. I'll become a herbicidal maniac. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some. So I'll see in a minute when this is up there. We'll get the first few trees down. I'm not doing any of this for personal firewood at the moment. We're staying in a motel, we've got heating and stuff, we're fine. I think had we had our own cabin, or we were in a tent or possibly a trailer, I might be bucking some of it up and putting it onto a trailer. The silage fermentation up at the little farm where the beehives are, it's fairly slow because I'm on 3-day months. It says 24,000 cycles per month, which is fine, but obviously that's then split into 3 because we're on 3-day months, so it's not actually cycling that fast at the moment. I think there's about 8,000 litres of silage there. That could be something, when I've got a full trailer load's worth, I'll just go and sell it, because as I said before, it was free really. I just went up to clear the ground. Whoa, okay, that's a lot steeper than you think. I don't think it's going to get much lighter than this, which is a bit of a worry. No, the snow started already. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's lovely, but, you know, the other thing I could have applied for under the permits was a Christmas tree permit. You can get a logging permit for Christmas trees. I could have done that, I suppose. That would have been an interesting one, but as it stands, we've got the one we needed, so we'll get on with it. I've got a lot of vehicles behind me. I really hope this doesn't settle. I mean, I don't know. Do I? Yeah, maybe. I'm not gonna lie, I did test out the tree harvester while we were in the fort. I thought there's no point in me bringing it all out here, turning it on, finding out it doesn't work. But actually it did. We'll see how that pans out. So I'm thinking, I don't know, 4 metre lengths on that trailer. Is 4 metres too long? I'm not sure actually. Let's open that up. Got it on 5s. I don't know. I'm not going to lie, I'm not too sure. If I bring that to about... So if I put it between those two, I better do those two, maybe those 3. Let's see what we can do. I'll put it on the back. I know maybe it's supposed to be in the front, I'm not sure. Whoa, hang on. Struggling a little bit there. Okay. So we want to unfold the harvester. Oh, our front wheels are lifting off the ground a little bit. There's a bit of movement there. I'm now thinking, do I do 4s? I'll do the first lot 4s, the first 3 4s. We'll try that. If that's too short, then we can go to 5s. So I'm just going to scroll through. I think this goes up to 25 metres, doesn't it? Something like that. And we'll get back to 4s. Or we could do 4.5s. We could split the difference. What do you reckon? Let's do 4.5s. Turn it on. What? Not allowed to cut this tree. Why not? I come too far over. Oh, I've got to come in. Oh man, are we right on the edge there? Okay, that's brilliant. Right, that's the only downside we're using this. I will say that. Maybe we can do that one. Might have to be quicker to get the cut. Oh, we got cut. We've got cut. Should have twisted that a bit, really, shouldn't I? Because that's going to hit that tree, isn't it? No. Oh man, it's lovely with the snow, don't get me wrong, but I've got a little bit left in there. Oh, we have a little diddy bit. I don't suppose I'll be able to do that one then, am I? This is trickier than one might think. Well, that was a bit interesting. Guess what I should do? You know what I'll do? Let's hop out. Okay, so let me do that one. Not that one, that's out on the edge. This one? No? Brilliant. So it's protecting the ones out on the edge. That one we can do. Oh man, it's coming down. It's going to be too short. I was only going to do one tree, wasn't I? Alright, 2's not going to be the end of the world. We might need to switch it to 5s, maybe 5.5s. Question is, can I pick up one of these by hand? Nope. What about the small bit there? Yes. Actually, that's probably about right. Doesn't look like it in the woodland, but put the end there. And we could probably go to 5s and overhang by a little bit more, couldn't we? Wouldn't be the end of the world if we were overhanging. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. We'll switch it to 5s. Let's go one more up. Can't do that tree there. Let's fold the harvester. Move in a little bit. Oh man. Isn't it pretty? Let's put it about there. This is something different I haven't done before. It's like on a reach. I'll do that one, won't it? Hopefully. Hang on a minute. That one came up. Oh no, it wasn't, was it? Right, what I'm going to do, I think, is turn the engine off a second. Let's load up some. Now this has got straps. This is crazy. But it's winter. This is what we said. It was going to be winter work. We were going to be doing stuff like this because this has got straps. I was going to use the my usual go-to. But I thought, you know what? No, let's do something a little bit different. I say a little bit different. Not hugely different, but still got straps. But just get those a bit of a scoot up first, and strap them up. Whoa, it's a lot closer than I thought. So we'll load the trailer up. We're not going to get a massive amount on here, but we'll get a fair bit, I think. If I stack it up a little bit higher than I probably should, which is kind of my MO, isn't it? Let's be honest. Turn that off. Might give that a little bit of a shove, that one there at the back. Next load I'll put the other way round. Put that small one on as well. And we could probably go to 5.5s, maybe 6s. Oh no, those were the 4s, weren't they? Or 4.5s. Well, we might be able to go a little bit longer. Maybe the next run, when I do the next tray load, I'll go to 6s. Push that on. I'll probably do with turning that trailer the other way round, maybe facing down the hill so the logs will kind of push down against the headache rack end board. I'm just worried of loading this up on the slope and it toppling that way, so I think I might just swing that round. That will make sense as well, and then I'll get on with loading it up. Just put the straps on a second. Yeah, so I think if I do it that way, I don't know when we're fully loaded how well we're going to be able to get out of here. We should be alright. Is that going to roll? No, we seem alright. Actually, I'm going to leave the lights on. Right then, let's get some more on. I'll see if we've got a full load. We'll head down to the sawmill and we'll see what we get. I mean, I'd like to say, I really don't know. It's going to be interesting, that's for certain. Cool. As you might be able to tell, I'm not in the Jeep. The trailer is a single axle, and when I pushed it out to 5 metre lengths, I put too much weight over the back of the central axle, so the rear wheels of the Jeep kept lifting off the floor. If I'd have stuck to 4s, it probably would have been okay. So what I've done down at the store, I've pre-ordered back to the old faithful, the HW80, the Fortrit that I used on, well, not the start, but on Western Wilds. It's £3 to buy, but I've leased it. It cost me 204, I think it was, to lease. So what I'll do, once we get back, I'll put the tractor back onto the tree harvester, the wood harvester, and the Jeep will go onto the fork trailer, because the fork trailer is a double axle split wide, so it shouldn't be. It shouldn't tip. It shouldn't put any stress on the back of the Jeep. That's the theory. I did think about maybe leasing. Oh, here goes the train. Leasing a timber runner trailer, because we've got the semi, haven't we? Sitting there, the Mac. There was a little bit more expensive. I thought we'll see what we get for a load on here. Potentially we could, and speed up the process a little bit. But this is the moment of truth, as we always have. Every Let's Play we have these various different moments where I'm going to run and load the first load, find out whether it's worth it, whether it's better than I thought it was going to be, worse than it was going to be, or just what I thought. We are in the grip of a bleak and contractless winter. I've got to make ends meet. It's going to be a grind. Going to be a grind. Hey, it wouldn't be a MrSealyp Let's Play if it wasn't, would it? How are we looking as far as load? You can see it in the wing mirrors, just about. We come out of there. I mean, we're overloaded, not horrendously. I'm just wondering, actually, I can't remember whether or not the HW80 trailer has a trailer hitch, because I suppose I could hook them together, potentially. Right, where am I taking this? I think it's over there, isn't it? Let's... No, not that one. That one. Yep, over there. Or is it here? No, it's here, isn't it? That's where the pallets spawn if I own it. Oh, actually, we're probably almost in exactly the right place. Right, straps off. Oh, okay. That was better than I thought it was going to be. We might be okay here. Oh, okay. Right, let's get to this door. Oh man, look at the snow. Ah, and I'll tell you one thing. Being in the tractor, nice warm cab. It's lovely. Although I do appear to have a few snowflakes coming in. I left the window, roof open or something. Let's see if I can hook this behind the HW80. If I can, I could potentially get 20 grand-ish per run. I mean, to be fair, it's 10-20 already. I've only done one load. I'm not going to get that many loads. Oh, I suppose when you think about it, I've got to go right the way through now, haven't I? December, January, February. Well, we might get a few in. I do want to do some wood chipping as well, so let's see what we can do here. That does have a trailer hitch on the back as well, but I want to be able to pull it with the Jeep, although 2 trailers worth might be too much weight. So I've taken the liberty of leasing that. Actually, the side supports don't look much taller, but it's a narrower trailer. So you've got a trailer hitch on the back? It has. So that one's wider but lower, this one's narrower but taller. Probably would have been easier if I switched this to the front. I always do this to myself, don't I? This tractor doesn't turn particularly... There we go. Swiftly. No. Would have been better off on the front. You know what? Top tip, if you haven't watched me do this before, if you're manoeuvring trailers like that around, do it from the front. It's far more positive, unless of course you are a expert, in which case you can do it from the back. It just you've just got a lot more control because your steering is right there, so it's a lot easier to do that way round. Today's MrSealyp top tip. I mean, it's not my tip, but oh, it's not going to hook up, is it? No, it's because it's a ball hitch and this is a pin hitch. I don't know if I can try and change that over. I can't remember what that trailer came with, whether you could put a pin hitch on it. Oh, I'll check that out later on. I'm going to go and just get another full load on this, and hopefully we'll bring it back on the Jeep next time. So I will see you in a little while. I would imagine probably gone midday. We'll have the HW80 loaded, and then I'll try and... I can't remember when I got that trailer. Actually, I suppose the thing I could do is look into the brochure and see. Now, what was it under? Was it under regular trailers initially? Can't remember. Yeah, there we go. I think it's just that, isn't it? Capacity, colour, design, rim. Yeah, it's a ball hitch. That's not going to work. Okay, well, I need to switch that back to its regular trailer anyway, because we have used it for bales, but... And I'll get this up. See you in a little while. I'm feeling a lot more positive now, actually, I have to say. That was better than I thought it was going to be. Second load, 5 minutes past 12. It's not the tidiest load you're ever going to see. And as you've just seen, it was a struggle getting out of the dip. I have to say, I think I got kind of spoiled on the Western Wilds because it was flat. The logging, whilst I did a lot of it, wasn't actually too bad. Where I'm logging at the moment, blimey, it's challenging. I'm leaving in all the saplings. There's lots of little trees, lots of saplings, smaller trees that I'm leaving because they need to be left to grow, obviously. I'm only cutting down the ones that should be cut down and can be cut down. But the problem is, by doing that, it would be easier if I just got rid of them. But the problem is, they're in the way. So as I'm trying to use the wheel loader and use the tractor with the wood harvester, I'm having to negotiate all the smaller trees and saplings as well as then try and cut them down. There are a couple of the big chunky trees in there. I cut one down by hand. Did I can't remember if I recorded that or not, did I? I might have done. Yeah, I think I did. So we should, I think I've got one of those thick logs on the top of here. I don't know what we're going to get on this load. It's going to be interesting to see between the other trailer and this one whether we get a similar amount of money or more or less, but we'll see, and then we can work out what we're doing from there. Once this gets pulling, it's like anything, once you can get something rolling, once you've got that movement, it's just getting it started in the first place. This pulls it no problem at all, but it's just getting there first. We're doing it. 10 past 12, I'm just trying to think, I'm getting a couple, I did 2 loads in the morning, or just past the morning. If I can get 2 or 3 done in the afternoon, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. We're about here, won't we? About there? Maybe back a little bit. Well, we might be alright actually. And then was it around here? See something. Okay, that's not bad. That had a big tree on it, so 15372. That's even more encouraging than the first load. Okay, we've done alright. I think we can do this, you know. There's a load more to do. I did cut down a tree a little bit like the one to our left. Much bigger though. The problem with that is, I know when I did some like that on Western Wilds, they're not great for loading onto trailers, because even when you cut them up and you cut all the limbs off, it still has this feeling like there's still limbs there, you know, you get those collisions. It doesn't seem to like it very much, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I was thinking actually, it did say on here, was it wood? Mount Vernon in Illinois. Oh, Miller's Sawmill. Price gone up a little bit. That's not so bad. Whether or not to load someone to the train and send it off to Miller's, to Mount Vernon, you know, that might be an interesting thing to do. It means I have to bring the wheel loader back down here to load onto the train. But I might do a load. I might do that into December 3 maybe. I just want to get a little bit more logging done really. So I'm not sure at this point. I'm going to have to check because I don't know how long I've been going for so far. I mean, I've been going for a bit longer than I think I've been recording for. I'll check everything. I don't know whether we'll get another load in this episode or whether when I get back up there, I'll show you what we've cut down and where we're at, and then I might get a chance to load up what's there and then come back with another load. Doesn't look like the snow's going to settle though. While we're heading off, let me just check. No. Oh no, that wasn't the right thing. The weather. Snow through till 3 PM. Something now. Okay. That's got a little bit brighter though, that's good. I think I'll try and get one more load on. We've got the rest of this chunky tree here. We've got a couple of bits, there's odds and ends there. We've got the trees we cut down, you saw up here and here. This is the one I'm talking about. It's kind of like, oh, it's not that, is it? I wonder if that will cut down. Oh, it will. Okay. Yeah, it's like that one. They don't always lay down particularly well in a trailer, so I'll kind of gather up the bits I can. Some of these big bits, we look at that, that's mass is 2.6 tons. That one is 1.3, 1.4. There's a nice bit of mass in that. I don't know how we'll go with regard to the actual lumber itself, but how was that? Is that a 6 mil? It's a 5.3. I'm looking for one to use as my measuring stick. That's a little bit better than the one I had before, just in case I need to do any more of those really long ones. But pop that there out of the way. So what we'll do is, let's grab the wheel loader. I bought the Jeep down the little track. I don't know if that's a shallower climb than out of that way, unless I just zigzag and kind of go out and back and out and back, you know, do a few switchbacks here and there, just to keep the gradient as low as possible, and then it shouldn't be too bad for getting in and out. But I say we should have enough here on the ground for another load without cutting any more for the time being. Question is though, you have to get in at some point and do stump grinding, but that's all going to depend on whether the snow settles, whether we get more snow in the rest of December, January, February, because if the snow settles I won't be able to see the stumps, so I'll just do what I can, I suppose. Doesn't like picking up those small ones, the straps, for some reason. Oh, there you go, got it this time. See what I mean about all the saplings, all these ones, I'm leaving all these to grow. All these small, I mean that's possibly, no, I wouldn't say that's ready yet either. So yeah, a lot of these smaller ones I'm leaving, but there are quite a lot of them. There's some like this that are tiny. Where's one? I absolutely clouted it with the tractor, just like that, that size. Had a collision, I didn't even realise, and bang, I just hit it. I couldn't work out why I wasn't moving, and then suddenly saw this little sapling sticking out the ground. How lovely. So that's what I mean. I've said it whenever I do map tours on logging maps, you know, wilderness maps, those kind of things, and it's like this. I always say, you know, you'll find the logins a little bit more challenging, and I always get the impression people's attitudes are, well, why? What do it does makes a massive difference, even just for accelerating and braking on whatever vehicle you're using. When you've got a full load, braking down a steep hill, it makes a big difference to the physics of what you're doing. So I'll get that just in there. And then obviously interspersed with all those small saplings, I've now got all the all the tree stumps I've left everywhere. So yeah, it's a bit of a maze really. Let's grab those, and then that pile there. I'll get those larger ones on, then see if I can get any of that big stuff, and we'll get another load done. And then I'll just have to see, I guess. That's that one. Come back to that bit. I can raise, yes, I mean, it's reversing up. I've got a load on and it's heavy. It feels like it's struggling to get up the hill. Don't really need my beacons on here, there's nobody about. That's probably not the best angle to come at this because there's another tree there. Avoid hitting the trailer as well. I've done that a couple of times and knocked it out of alignment, which doesn't help. It's not particularly straight, is it? It's a bit better. Let's put that about there. Cool. I think I'll grab this one next. Might, I'm going to give that a bit of a line up first. I have to say, when I walked through the woods in the last episode, it looked like there was a lot. I don't think there's going to be as much lumber as I thought. We'll make a bit of money, It's just whether or not I can invest in leasing, getting a permit on another bit. I mean, I know it goes all the way down to the road, but there's not quite as much as I initially thought. Although if we can get some of those big trees down, there's some value in those. And at the end of the day, if I get through the winter months and I'm better off than I was when we went into the winter months, it doesn't matter. I haven't got to make a fortune. I just don't want to come out of the winter months really struggling, you know. Ooh. Hello. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to pick all these up because I haven't got a rear weight on this. Just hoping the engine over the back axle will give me enough. I don't think I'll get all of those. I might have to do a couple. Come back for the rest. Let's see what this does. I think that's too much, isn't it? Still going to do it. That's better. Oh, those. Oh no. Nope. That's what we'll do. Let's close that a little bit. Drag that out. Come on. There we go. Let's do those first. Right, I'll see you again when we've got a full load. Get down to the sawmill and sell that. And then I guess I'll do a load off camera, I suppose. Then I'll either see you in December 3 or into January. I do want to switch up, like I said, I do want to do some wood chipping at some point because just because I want to use the equipment. Plus, it's another job to do during the winter, isn't it? I might at some point do a little bit of bucking up some trees for personal firewood. But I won't do a lot of that. We'll do a few of these big old trunks and then we'll just put them into a trailer to take back to wherever we decide to. Let's open that up, do that. I like to give that a bit of a nudge. Seems to be trying to settle. There we go. Okay. I have to say, this little Jeep's got a lot of heart. I love it. Did I drop down to 1 mile an hour when I was coming out on the little track? Yeah, I did, but it kept going. It didn't get to 0. You know, sometimes you get that wheel spin and you won't go any further. It keeps plugging away. I'm thinking if I do decide to do some loads to go to Mount Vernon, I might well use the Mac. And because we you know, we've done 3 loads, we're making a bit of money. I can afford to lease one, so I know I can cover the cost of it. I wasn't sure how much I was going to make. So that thing of what, you know, what do I lease, what do I get to use, and then I can bring the wheel loader down. What we'll do, we'll unload it by the, you know, the loading point for the trains, and we'll do a full load, or just maybe one of the wagons. I don't know. I just fancy using the train because I haven't done it for logs. I don't think I've ever done it for logs. I'm trying to think on any of my Let's Plays if I've ever done log-in. Oh, I might have done on. Oh, what was the map? Mine's gone blank. Goldcrest Valley. Yonks ago, when I made a real mess of using the overhead crane, the gantry crane, to load up the train. Yeah, but that was FS17. Wow, okay. That was a while ago. So let's see then what we'll get for this load. That'll kind of give me a nice gauge whether or not. I mean, I don't see why not. I think leasing a timber runner trailer is only going to cost me about £3 grand, maybe, something like that. Where do you want to be? About here? Where is it? It's here somewhere, isn't it? There we go. About the same, 15,534. Okay. So we've made so far 30, 42, 43 grand. That's all right. 3 loads. I've got more to do, obviously, and I will do some more. Bear in mind though, yeah, 128 now. I might get another load in before it gets dark. I'm just thinking that'll be 4 loads in a day. That's probably about the best I'm going to get, really. Once it gets dark, it's going to be a lot trickier for loading and cutting and the rest of it. So then we'll go into December 3, and then, I mean, I can absolutely afford to now. Yeah, I think we'll lease. I'll have a look and see what trailers are available. It would be nice to have one of those ones that tips, you know. I know we had one way back. I can't remember if that was 17 or 19. log trailer that you loaded up, and then when you unloaded, the sides came out and it rolled it, like unloaded to the side. There are a few other trailers knocking about, so we can have a look, we can see what's available, and maybe we'll use the Mac to do a load, take a bit of pressure off the Jeep. I'll do another load or two maybe with this, and we'll see how we get on. But for the time being, that is the end of this episode. The snow is still honking down and probably will do to about 3 o'clock. Whether it will settle or not, I don't know. And I'm ending this episode far more positively than we started. I really, I know the last few episodes I've been saying about the fact that contracts are going to run out. We've got to get through the winter. I don't know what we're going to do. We looked at the prices for logging. We looked at the prices for wood chip, and it wasn't looking great. But I have to say, I mean, yeah, I'm putting the time in. I've got to cut the trees down. We've got to load them up. I think leasing the wood harvester, the Ponds wood harvester is brilliant because it gives you that ability to cut the lengths you want exactly. It's affordable, especially if you're leasing it, compared to leasing a Scorpion King or a Cobra or any of those kind of things. But it's just the time it takes to move it around. But then you think about doing that manually. If you're cutting down a tree manually, cutting all the limbs off manually, then chopping it up manually, and then you've got, because it's all in one long line, loading up's not as easy. It actually does work out a good idea using it. So I'm glad I leased it, and I'm glad that the Massey's working it, no problem at all, though we're kind of 20 horsepower-ish shy. If you have enjoyed the episode, if you're still enjoying the episodes, the series, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.